All right, start now. All right. What is up, YouTube boxing family? I'm here with the one and only Ryan Pino. This is KRS7435 here. I'm back at it with another good boxing chop session with another good fighter. Ryan Pino. Yeah, just tell the world who you are and how'd you get into boxing.
Man, appreciate it for the opportunity for this interview, man. I'm grateful, man. All glory to God, man. I'm Ryan Pino from Puerto Rico. I'm originally from New York. I was born and raised over there, but now half my childhood I've been in Puerto Rico and New York. Up and back and forth. But now I'm living here. I did half of my amateur career here. So we is ready for February 11th. We got a good fight, and I'm ready, man.
Yeah, now that you say that, do you consider yourself New Yorican or just Puerto Rican?
Now I would say New York because I was born over there, but I got my roots from over here because I was raised over here, but New York has a big Puerto Rican fan base. So it's been like I go over there, I still got my Puerto Rican love.
Yeah, because I got Puerto Rican blood on. I'm black and Puerto Rican, but like I've always get that question with like a lot of people. Like, if you're born there, then you're technically Puerto Rican, but if you're born in New York, then no, you're just like a straight New Yorker.
No, no, but because I went to school over here too in Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
So I
Oh,
yeah
nice.
yeah so I know how it is Puerto Rico, like the real thing. It's not like I'm from New York. I just know from Puerto Rico. No, I know how it is. I was here in the hurricane and everything.
Oh man. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, like I hope everything's well over there because the
Uh,
hurricane is yeah.
Yo, thank
Um,
God everything's running perfectly, man. Energy's back. Everybody's happy. Thank God.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about your amateur pedigree because you had a pretty stacked, resume of guys that I've heard that you've been in the ring with. Could you dive in deeper, like about that, to explain about how'd you get into that?
Man, so my father was a professional wrestler here in Puerto Rico, and my mom was a professional fighter. And so we got into that. I was born in this. So I was in the gym maybe 2, 3, 4 years old. I was already in the gym, playing with the glove, with the hand. I was throwing it. At 5 years old, my parents had me have my first amateur boxing fight, and everything started since there, man. I did over 270 something amateur fights, man. I fought literally anybody. I used to go to New York for summer vacation, and I ended up in the gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I even won Teofimo Lopez in the tournament here in Puerto Rico.
Oh. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah. That's very interesting that you say that because you have a very good style. I appreciate, the boxing fundamentals that you have, and like I think a lot of people just look at the record and they just think that you're not like that type of good fighter, but when they don't understand boxing, they're always going to jump on the gun to say, oh, well, he's not that good because look at his win-loss ratio. But that's not how boxing should be. It should be about you fighting the best competition, and you keep leveling up away from it to keep getting better. So with that being said, do you feel like where things are at right now, you're in a really good spot because you're taking a lot more risk in your career where you're actually getting better from these tough fights?
Life is a risk, man. Like even out of boxing, life is always a risk. Even crossing the street, any type of business, you're always at risk. So yeah, this is I was raised in that like from that era with the Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hagler, all those people. The best fight the best. That's all I was loving boxing. So even at the amateurs, I was like, in the normal fights, no tournaments, they used to have us go let's say the 140s, they're gonna stand. Let's see who's gonna fight. Nobody in the 140 wanted to fight me. All right, so let's go 150 something. All right, so when we see them at 160, they're too big, so we're not gonna take that risk. I'm not stupid either. We don't want to get hurt. But I was in love with the sport. I just want to like show my skills. I just want to fight. So I came with that mentality to pro. Not just that, I didn't have a good team. It was just me and my dad. We were struggling to fight. So we had like a manager, we had no promoter, so we had to get whatever came. And I'm glad for my losses because that give me the experience that I have today. So let's go to MMA. You see these guys with 10 wins and 7 losses, but they considered champions, veterans. Why not in boxing? Well, you want to get like a paper champion that the dude is fighting taxi drivers, mailmen, and they're all undefeated with 10 knockouts, and you really haven't fought anybody.
Yeah,
So you don't want to give me my credit because I have a few losses, and it's not because I have a few losses with who and how I lost. Because
yeah,
there's a business, you go to their hometown, you win the fight, but you lose the decision. You know,
yeah,
it happens to me a lot. I have draws that I won. I
yeah,
have losses that I won, but I accept I accept it. It is what it is. Now I'm going to hometown fights. I'm taking my thing a lot more serious. I got a bigger team. I'm getting my doctors, my nutrition, my massages from everybody. Like everybody I need to. My trainers, everybody, everything's on point, man. I feel like I don't feel. I know I have a championship team. A championship camp. Everything is going perfectly. Thanks to God.
yeah. That's very interesting that you say that because I don't think a lot of fighters want to be in that position because they're so hyped into the Floyd Mayweather era where they have to be undefeated. You have to be careful who you fight, but that's not how you get better. And like I used to wrestle back in high school up in New York. Like I wrestled out in Clifton Park in upstate New York. It was called Shenandoah High School, but they were one of the top leading schools in upstate New York. But how it worked was that you were going up against like the best competition in your state, and then after that you got invited to invitationals, and then if you did good in that, then they'll bring you to states. And I just like I went 27-3, but out of those losses I kept dominating everybody. Like I kept getting better.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I never felt afraid of losing. Like that's basically what I'm saying. Like for you, like you're basically on that same path, and I think like what you're doing compared to Devin Haney, compared to everybody in the game right now, like you're getting way better. And I think that's a really good, like it's a very good developmental progress to help with the sport.
No, and not just that, my record doesn't show my skills or my skill set, because you can look at guys like Emmanuel Augustus. You can look at guys like Gabe Rosado, you know, Orlando Salido. They got a few losses, and who they fought the big names, they fought the big cards, and they are who they are today. So why I can't do that, you know? So like I said, my record doesn't show my skill set. Like I feel like I have a high IQ. I'm doing really good in boxing. I like, hey, I've been doing this since I was 5 years old, man. That's all I know how to do. So I study my sport. I'm in love with my sport. It's not just dedication. I'm in love with this, man.
Yeah, because I think what the good thing about fighters that that have been doing successful in the past is that they set the door to open up a more bigger commitment from fighters today that actually want to advance their careers. And I think like when it comes to fighting the best opposition, like you actually get like a certain drive in your skill set where you're more confident to come into your fights, and you don't think about losing, you just think about performing. And I think that's the biggest problem that a lot of boxers don't want to face. They don't want to face like, the performance, pressure, because if you're not preparing yourself mentally and physically, then that's how fighters end up getting clipped, at the higher level.
Oh, exactly, man. Like, I gotta think. I have to give a lot of thanks to boxing because like I've been in camps with Jorge Linares, Jose Pedraza, Montana Love. they call me out for sparrings and everything. And these are the things that you appreciate, that and that makes me go up to a different level. Go a level higher. Because you understand the levels of training that you have to do. Not just work hard, because every fighter works hard, but work smarter and how to do it too. So this is why one of the things that it keeps me growing, even with all my losses. Like I said, I don't see them as losses. I see them as experience. I've learned from them what to do and what not to do and how to do it too. So this is why I feel like I'm at the level, and God is giving me all this glory. And obviously, I gotta give it back to Him, because all the glory and praises to Him. But He's giving me all these things to learn and be big. Like I had to go through all these losses to be big.
Yeah, I definitely like agree with that. I think when it comes down to to just let the skill set, like you would say that at this point, let the more you keep competing at the tougher competition, eventually you're really going to start taking over the world title level, because that's getting you ready for the 12 rounder battles. It's getting you ready for like what happens if somebody tries to hit you with like a big shot that you didn't see, and then how do you respond to that in a more hyperactive state. And I think I think the good thing about fighting tough competition is that when you um get in there with a tough guy and you actually go through those wars of just understanding how to be defensively tactical, you actually know how to like make those quick, fast like adjustments. Because like to me, like I see a lot of fighters that are not prepared to do that, and they end up getting knocked out pretty fast because it's like you're just not ready for it. Like it's just something that you have to be naturally instinctive to be prepared for it.
Yeah, and it's just like life. If you hang out with lawyers, you're gonna know about anything that has to do with lawyers. You're gonna hang out with businessmen, you're gonna know anything about business. So like I'm trying to be around people that can level me up, people with championship mentality. So that's why I think I'm being successful the way I am, because I'm trying to have positive people around that can make me grow.
Yeah, and that's why that I like you like a lot, because I actually
Appreciate it.
saw like on one of your fights against Rashad Mahdi, and
Yeah.
I actually ran into him on my birthday at the Serrano Taylor card, and I told him like, "Yo, dude, you fighting good competition like this is just gonna make you better." And that's why that I like talking to people like you, because if I talk to people that are like stuck up, that don't care about being better, then I don't think that helps like the sport. So I
And
like talking to people that like to help out with the sport by challenging
And
themselves.
it and it's actually funny that you mentioned that fight, because that's one of my favorite fights. It's not because of the fight, because of all the circumstances that was happening at that moment. At that moment, my dad was in a coma
Oh
around
wow.
that fight, and I'm not gonna lie, I was dead broke at that time. I was alone with my dad, taking care of him at a hospital. I was not training. I wasn't training like for 3 months, and I was really rushed. They called me like 4 days before, just to fight him, and I said, oh, they was offering me a certain amount of money. I try to get as much as possible. I hop on the fight, and that was the only fight I was gonna take a dive. I'm not gonna lie. And me and my manager started looking at the fights, and he said, Ryan, with your skills, with your skill set and everything, I think you could beat this guy. This guy doesn't have much. And he started pumping me up and motivating me, and let's go for it then. So I'm not gonna lie, I was depressed at that time. My dad, he was my best friend. Like I was low on weight. I wasn't even eating. Just trying to survive, trying to give everything for my dad. He was at a hospital in coma. It was 2 months in coma, and you like, to be honest, like it was a really close fight. I wasn't really in any type of condition. I was just headstrong, that let's go. I know my dad's fighting, so I got to fight. That was I was saying for everything in my mind at that time. So, and we did what we did. Like, and personally, I thought I almost dropped him in the sixth and last round.
Yeah.
So, like that's one of my favorite fights, because everything that happened before that. My dad died a month later, and like I said,
Um,
I gotta focus on my thing. I gotta live the dream, and do everything he wanted me to do. So that's why I got more focus on everything I did. So it's funny that, like I said, that he actually mentioned up that he brought that fight up.
yeah. Yeah, because I never knew that. Like I was thinking that you were doing very well, and I thought you almost came close to hurting Rashad. And like I asked him like about that fight, and he's like, "Yeah, man, like that guy pushed me, and I felt like I was going deep waters with him, but um that was a really heavy, loaded fight, and you showed like a lot of heart in there along with him, and I just think those type of fights, people don't know what you're going through mentally and physically." And I think that's like another big issue that not a lot of casual fans want to talk about. About mental health. That you're human too, and anything that happens behind closed doors, that does like affect you in the ring. And I think that needs to be like heavily like addressed, especially at the high level.
Yeah,
Um,
people just look at boxers like it's just punches. No, we go through a lot. Like we got to make weight. We have to miss Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays. Of family events. Just to sacrifice ourselves for boxing. And to give you guys the fights you guys want to see. It's not just like just punches. There's a lot that we have to miss. A lot we have to give, and amazing, and sometimes not even receive. Yes, to fight. Yes, 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 to give glory, or yes, get a paycheck to give back to our family. For everybody could be good. So, but with Rashad Mahdi, he's doing good. After that fight, I had a talk with him after our fight, man. He's doing good. So he's a good fighter, and these are things that fighters do, man. Like we fight through everything.
yeah. Um, yeah. Like as far as that goes, before I get to my other question, kind of local sports has something in Spanish that he wrote for you. I don't know what that means.
Soy fanático real. He says he's a fan of me that I always fight with everything I got. Shout out to Cano Local Sports, man. He got a few of my fights on his page.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Actually, like another good fight was that one fight card. It was called I forgot. Oh, Ring City, USA.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That promotion was really good. I don't know what happened with that, but I like about the fights that they did for that for you. But I was also gonna ask like in regards with your up and coming opponent with Jason Velez. How did that come about, and what's up the purpose for this fight?
Well, we was trying to get a belt for this fight, but he didn't want to agree to any terms with the weight. So I haven't done 140 pounds since probably like 2019. And he was trying to make it a 140. His last fight was at 140. I'm a 147, man. So I'm like 6 feet tall. It's really hard, but like I said, we may have made the adjustments with everything. Like I'm walking at right now. I'm walking at 145. I'm only 2 pounds away,
Yeah.
and we're like 2.5 weeks from the fight. So we were trying to make at least a title fight, but he didn't want to agree, so he's still gonna pay for it. A title on the fighter, I'm still gonna beat him. I feel confident with my everything that's happening, and I'm just happy that it's happening right now. He's been with a lot of big names, but I feel here in Puerto Rico, he's getting a bigger name with me because nobody really cares about him or knows about him. But everybody gonna know about him now, especially the way I'm gonna knock him out.
Yeah. I actually saw his fight against Tito Mercado, and I'm actually friends with Tito, and he told me that fight was difficult, but he could take a punch. He's durable until
Yeah,
you start breaking him down.
but I'm asking a question. What weight is Tito Mercado?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like a 135 pounder. I know.
Exactly. I'm a
Yeah,
147 naturally. So when you see a monster like me in front of you,
yeah. The
and he
welterweight
could take
division, different level.
exactly. So I'm gonna be big. I am bigger than him, but I'm gonna be a lot stronger than him. He's gonna feel my weight. He's gonna feel my power. And
Yeah.
trust me, he's gonna feel all the pain that I've been through. Bro, I sparred with this dude before with Jason Velez, but like a few years ago. And I know what he's capable of. He's like a dumb fighter. All he does is go forward, he takes two punches to give you one. So what's gonna happen when I give him two punches to get out the way?
Yeah. I was just about to say about your weight class, like I think where you are right now, I think you scale a lot better at welterweight and above versus 140 because what I've seen from you at 140 is that you punch really hard, but the power wasn't there at 140. But at welterweight, I think that scale's a lot heavier because you actually know how to set up your shots a lot more smoother.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. No, no, no. Like I said, with time, you start learning. You know, like I said, I haven't made 140 since 2019. A lot could happen from there. I've learned a lot. I learned how to use my power when I need. Because I used to box a lot. I used to like like that Muhammad Ali, Nassim Hamed, hit and don't get like Caleb Plant, that he used to base off a lot his defense.
Yeah,
So I started acknowledging more my offense, and way I could kind of, if I stand a little bit more, I could hit harder.
yeah,
So now now like I said, you start learning from everybody. You start learning how to stand a certain way to hit harder, hit and then take it away and move out the way and be defensive. So now with this knowledge, with all this, I feel I can make 140 with now use power at the day of the fight and be defensive too, not just be a defensive fighter or offensive fighter. So
yeah,
like I said, if I have to fight on the inside, I know how to do it. If I have to box on the outside, I can do it too. So now, like I said, it's everything about like Bruce Lee said. Like I fear a man that practiced one punch 1,000 times than a man that practiced 1,000 punches. So now, like we go with a certain plan, how we're gonna do this, how we do this in a certain way. So I feel we could bring that energy, that knowledge, that power to, and that fighting style to 140 and come up to the fight at 147, 150, 155. But like I said, man, like life is challenges, man. So I'm not afraid to fight at 140. If there's a good opportunity, we fight at 154, 147 is like where I mainly stay. But I'm not afraid of challenges, man. That's why we even took this fight at 143 because
mm,
it's a challenge. The challenge right now is the weight, and I already beat it. I don't
yeah.
think my opponent is a challenge. I just think he's just standing in the way of me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say like about your campaign to get to the world title. Like if you had it in your perfect world, like what weight classes do you want to start conquering? And then what's like the plan to like start going for like the big names like the Errol Spences of the world or or the Sebastian Fundoras or whoever, right?
Yeah, yeah. Right now, like I said, this is my in a long time. It's like my first fight around close to 140. We just did 140 around like sorry 143 the weight of the fight about like 3 days ago, and I was completely happy because I got to eat now a little bit and play with the weight and eat,
Yeah.
train, go down, go back up. So I feel we can make 140, but I'm a naturally at 147.
Yeah.
I feel good there, but I really would like to fight for my next fight. I'm Josue Vargas. Cause
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
you saw, so like he said he was looking for a fight, and I love challenges. So, he's
yeah.
another fighter that he has a good name, and I would like to send him to retirement too, cause I don't think he has a chin anymore. I don't want him to get hurt. He's a young guy, and he could be successful in other things. I don't think he's up in boxing, so I want him to take him out. But yeah, like whatever my team and I decide, because I can't be a one man band. I go based off my team too. So what's best for me? Because sometimes I can feel this, but it's not the right thing. So me and my team decide 140, 147. So yeah, we'll do it.
Mm. Yeah, I think there's plenty of great fights because, where you're at right now, like people may think like, oh, like who is this guy, blah blah blah, but it's like, you have like a really stacked resume list of like opponents that you fought, and I think that only makes you like a lot more marketable to keep challenging yourself against other difficult opponents, and then eventually, nobody can run away from you. I think that's what a lot of fighters really, look at as far as like on paper opponents, but then once they get in there, it's a whole different level. Um, I was gonna ask like in regards to I guess like I assume you're a Puerto Rican, right? Right?
I was born in New York, but I was kind of raised in Puerto Rico. So yeah,
Um,
I'm a New Yorican.
yeah, I was gonna ask in regards to Puerto Rican boxing, do you think do you think Puerto Rican boxing is dead or do you think it's, just as strong as, you know, everybody else, right?
I so we have a little laid back. We had. now boxing in Puerto Rico is coming back to life. Even so a little in the amateurs.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, we had a bad experience with the federation over here as an amateur. Like my last national tournament, I won it, and the next weekend I went pro. So you at that time you could tell like how it was. So like I used to like win the national tournament, and the guy that I beat used to fly, and they used to leave me. Cause like over here, yeah, it's like that Miguel Cotto, that Tito Trinidad. Everybody wants to be a brawler, hands up. That's not my style. And I'm not gonna do that unless it's necessary. Cause I'm not expressing myself as a fighter, you know. So now it's getting a lot better. Even in pros right now, like you're seeing these cards with Universal Promotion and Gallimbo Sports,
Yeah. Yep.
how we're getting bigger, how we're getting known, and we great fights too. It's not you're not just seeing like
Yeah.
a dude real muscular with a chubby ugly dude that is coming for the check, you know.
Yeah.
So like it's competitive fights, like just like me, like and I feel I like these people because it adjusts to my style too. So
Yeah.
yeah, we are growing in with good prospects, and I'm on the way too. I feel like I could be the next Puerto Rican star too.
Yeah, because I would say for my top 10, I would definitely put definitely you, Luis
Appreciate it.
Melendez, Xander Zayas, Juan Zayas, and who's the other guy? Oscar Collazo, Subra Matias, and the other ones. Who's the other one? Oh, Brian Palaco, and the other three. Oh, Orlando Capo Gonzalez, Henry Moncho LeBron, and then who's at the last one? Oh, Jonathan Gonzalez, and then I'll throw in like Amanda Serrano because she's fighting next weekend. Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah. Nah, so you just by off those names, you see we have potential, you know. So we just gotta like get out of our comfort zone and go to the next level, you know. So that's what I've been traveling, training in different camps too, just to learn from everybody and see a way that I could grow in this boxing game,
yeah,
being mentally or physically, you know. I'm gonna try to grow and be the best. I'm gonna give it my all, like I always done. Even let's say even without a fight, I'm gonna go into a fight without training, like I mentioned. Bro, you see what I could do without no training. So just imagine me training and being at my best, everything
yeah,
focused and calm.
yeah. I was gonna say, as far as like future fight venues, like, do you have like a set plan of where you want to fight? Like, try to get fights out, at the Madison Square Garden or down in Florida or wherever.
Man, I was born in New York, and you know that I only fought in New York once.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah, yep,
So, and that was against a hometown fighter. So I would say Las Vegas, but I already fought there. I fought in the Richard Mari at the
yeah,
Henny and Linares fight.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's like a dream come true, bro. You see all the lights, all the big stadium, like everything you dreamed about as a kid, because that's what you grew up watching. But I would love to fight there again. But just me being the head liner, the for world title or anything. So that's my next step. But yeah, I'm like my mission is, man. I can't retire boxing without fighting in Madison Square Garden. Man, I got my family. I got people there. So I want to see that support. All my Puerto Ricans over there that sometimes can't fly over here to the island. Like so. That's everything I want, man. Yeah, and obviously I want to give back to like kids. I want to be inspiration for other fighters too, that even if you got a few losses, you can still make it. Just work hard, get the right people. Because sometimes you can work hard and have the best talent, but you don't got the right people to guide you. What are you gonna do?
yeah,
So just get the right people. Train. I want to be inspiration for everybody, man. That's my main goal, and let out that people know that the glory for all this and the key to all this is God.
yeah. I really do want to see you fight at the Yankee Stadium and the New York Mets Stadium. I think if that's a, possible venue to set up, that like, that's like a really great event. And if you
Bro,
can,
bro, I'm
oh,
sorry I'm interrupting you, but if that happens, man, because you saying that I gotta give your interview to you, man. You're
Oh
silly
yeah,
if
yeah,
it
yeah,
happens,
yeah, yeah.
man.
I'm just putting out ideas because New York is such a great venue for so many great stadiums, but like I've never seen fights being made out there because it's like that's all baseball, but it's like why can't they do that? Like that's like a perfect spot for it. And
No, no.
on top,
If I'm
oh
not mistaken, Miguel Cotto fought there once. If I'm not mistaken.
oh really?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he fought a guy that he had a bad knee. I don't remember the name. It was a white dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I would like to also see a fight in Albany, New York, because I'm from Albany, but the reason why is because if you could have it set up at the Times Union Center or at least out in Saratoga, you could get everybody from New York City to come down, and that's like a one shot site for everybody to go see the fights. So I think if at the Capital Region can definitely get involved and have those bigger venues, I think that could easily expand like your name branding as a fighter.
Hopefully, after this fight, we gonna get a bigger names, because like Puerto Rico is my home, man. But I wanna be known everywhere. I wanna fight where people can see my talent, my show, everything I could do, man. I'm saying this humbly. I'm not trying to be like this cocky dude. Like this
No.
is me, but I'm a killer in the ring, but I'm humble in the streets. So yeah, man. New York, I'll fight anywhere in New York. As long as everything is correct, and they treat us fair, man. No problem, man.
Yeah. I was gonna ask about your training regimen. Who are you with, and what type of style would you describe yourself that you're developing, as a fighter?
Man, so I'm training with two-time world champion Ivan Calderon
Oh,
and
nice,
Uri
nice, nice.
Ramos. So
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
that's in the boxing part. And
yeah.
my
He's a beast.
strength conditioning, and when staying in conditioning, I'm with Jason Ramos, and I'm searching Calon PR in Instagram, man. With this guy, I only been like probably like 3 months, and I feel my body change in a lot of ways, man. I'm not even lying.
Yeah,
So and my manager sees a TNT from far right. Man, so we have a good camp, man. Like I'm saying, this the best camp I ever had. Not one of them, no. The best camp I've ever had. I'm not lying. So we always ready for war, man. Cause like my dad always taught me how to fight the three styles of boxing, inside, mid range, and the outside.
yeah,
So I just use that. I rather have it and not use it than to need it and not have it. So I can fight any style. Obviously, as the fight progresses or the situation that it puts me in, I'll fight a certain style. I'm always box. I'm always use that jab. I almost hit you, move out. But if I have to go to war with you, stand toe to toe, I'm gonna trust me. I'm gonna do it in any way. So, but yeah, like I would say I'm a natural boxer. Hit him and don't get hit because that's the sign of boxing.
yeah. I think the biggest issue that a lot of people don't understand is that the shots you take may not look like that they hurt, but they're very game changing. And I think like for the most uneducated casuals that talk negative about that, they don't understand how tough it is to actually take a shot while you're moving. And I've always learned this in wrestling where, when you're hurt, when someone tries to put you down, you should not, turn yourself away from it. You have to like mask it in a certain way where it doesn't show as a potential agent of vulnerability for somebody to hurt you.
No, I agree, and it's nothing that like I'm gonna use this as an example, and I have nothing against basketball because I love basketball, but in basketball it's a team, right? And somebody like a pinky or a shoulder, they get hurt and they can't stop, and they have to stop playing. In boxing, you're gonna see us all bleeding, all swollen. They're gonna ask, "How are you?" "Oh, we're okay, we're fine." So yeah, people don't understand that. Like we train for that. We train for pain. It's like the army. We train for pain, we train for battle, and let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, because I used to do Civil Air Patrol back when I was younger, and they kind of said that the same thing. Like once you elevate from that to Air Force, you have to be ready for everything. But yeah, just like in wrestling, my coaches always told me like if you're bleeding and you got like a massive cut, don't act like it's gonna bother you. But guess what? Like, you're gonna have to battle through that as if like this is like a real like real life or death situation.
No, and I just that, and even in the fights, it's a lot of mental games too. Because if I'm not mistaken, I was 5-1. I was on going into my seventh fight, and I was going against this dude, Anthony Mercado, bro. The dude was
Oh
he
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah. He's a beast. Yeah, he was good back
bro.
in the day.
When I fought him, he was if I'm not mistaken, 10 and 1 with 9 knockouts. And I didn't even want to fight him because I went to go take my friend for to a weigh-in. And I was obviously I wasn't training to fight, but I was always in the gym. And we take him to a weigh-in and whatever. Yo, his opponent's not here. Like, what you want me to do? Oh, if you want to fight him, how many rounds? What weight? This and that. So we get to agreement. And I lay back like, nah. If you want to fight me, like you telling me what? Literally 1 day's notice. I want this type of money. In the second round, bro, yo, this dude give me a headbutt, bro. Like the biggest scar I ever had, bro. It was so ugly
Oh man,
in my
screw that.
eyebrow. So I touched on. I see blood in my glove, and my trainer said, "Oh, how I'm doing? Oh, you just had this little thing like that. It's no worry, you'll fine, bro." And I had to like, yo, it was so crazy, and I won the fight.
Ugh,
That was probably like that was one of my biggest experiences. And then me and Anthony McGraw were good friends. We still talk and laugh about that things,
yeah,
man.
he can hit,
But
man.
yeah, those are things that people don't see or people don't understand. You get out of the ring all sweaty, vaseline everywhere, all hurt, straight to the hospital, man. I had like probably like 7 stitches in the outside, and the inside had like 6.
Yeah, yeah. I really was gonna ask like about like what the corruption of referees in the sport, but when you have that referee that doesn't care about heavy fouls, about like a fighter that doesn't follow the rules in a fight, do you have to revert like do you have to resort to that self-defense mode of doing something dirty back to the fighter if they try to do something
It's
foul to you?
it's sometimes really risky because sometimes it's the politics in boxing, man. Sometimes the referees are playing for the promoter, and the promoter has his fighter. So the a boxer give me a low blow, and don't say nothing. Like he'll give me a low blow, I go down, they'll count me as a knockdown. But if I do the slightest little, I just clinch them, and they'll take a point away. So that sometimes it affects your mental
Yeah,
state. Cause like I'm fighting against the fighter and the referee too. So it's like if I knock them out, I'm gonna get a draw. So it's kind of it sucks, but it's politics, it's boxing, and it's sad that's happening, and because of these politics, we're getting taken off the boxing out of the Olympics.
yeah,
So that's the sad part about it.
because I was gonna say, in a perfect world, like if boxing didn't have the state interfering and all these corrupt commissions and promotions and sanction bodies in it, if it was purely marketized to a level where there was fairness, I assume that in a perfect setting, like nobody shouldn't be able to get away with trying to throw low blows and that's considered a knockdown, or if somebody tries to throw like dirty punches at you while you're leaning on the ropes and then the referee counts it as like a TKO when that's clearly a disqualification, or if someone bites you or anything like that. But like
And
I just
it's a dangerous sport because you get the biggest example in boxing. Look at the Pritchard Cologne situation.
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of a lot of illegal rabbit punches as he did that probably like once or twice trying to at least get back at the dude. Like bro, like take control, take justice. And I'm not mistaken, they took a point away. And look what it led to. It's very dangerous. So if there was, like you said, if in a perfect world, nobody would have been undefeated because you know how many champions have really lost in their career, but just because they're protected, they'll give the decision to them or just give a draw. You know,
yeah.
just to try to be fair, but it's not really fair.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like about like what advice can you give to young fighters where when you see something fishy inside a pre-fight, routine where like a team is doing something shady or something dirty, like should you come out of your way to try to investigate it before you make that decision to stop a fight, or how can you prevent that situation from happening if someone tries to cheat you?
Man, first of all, before a fight, you gotta learn these things, study it, because like that you'll be prepared for when it happens. But I rather quit a fight if I'm getting I'm treated illegally. I rather stop a fight because it's my health, man. So
Yeah,
I rather stop this fight today so I can fight the next day. I don't want to go in as a tough guy, get certain type of punishment, and get really hurt. It's not just boxing, my life too. I got a family to take care of. And I got people that love me. So I don't want them to be hurt either you
yeah,
know. So I rather stop a fight if I can fight the next day. You can keep the win. That's nothing for you. And deep down, that's wrong, and God sees that too. So it's better
mm,
be protect yourself at all times. But just be smart with it. Like obviously, there's a game of war. There's a fighting game. If you're gonna do something to me, I'm gonna do it back.
yeah,
So, but I want to always be a gentleman in the ring. But if you get foul play, man, try to either do it back, try to get justice for it. Hey, if not, just take a step back. It's your health, man. It's your life. You got a
yeah,
family to take care of. You got a family that loves you.
yeah. What's the hardest thing in boxing that you've dealt with that makes you have those aspirations to say this is so hard every day, this, like, is there something that's very difficult in the sport that kind of like dismotivates you, while you're training, right?
All right. So in a training level, the hardest thing about boxing is boxing,
Yeah.
cause like you literally have to like, bro, wake up, train 3 times a day. And sometimes you don't really want to even do it. Like you're so tired, but sometimes you have those people that loves you and that motivates you, that pushes you to do it. So like a boxer trains when there's a fight. A champion is always in the gym, working hard. That like every successful person and anything they do, they go that mile extra. Like they push themselves to be great. That you do the sacrifice now, and you're gonna see the results when they come back.
Mm,
So yeah, like you gotta make weight. You still have to train hard, making weight while you're hungry. You gotta
yeah.
go to sleep early. You gotta wake up early. You gotta put like when you're in pain, like literally in pain, you gotta keep going. So that's even for your mental. Like it builds you up good. So yeah, that's one of the hardest things. But outside of the training camp, like it's kind of hard when you have like people that trying to play you, business wise and everything. So
Yeah.
and it's kind of sad that boxing has to lead to this. Like I said, the politics. But yeah, the training is always gonna be hard, but it's worth it, man. Trust me, it's worth it. When
Yeah.
you look at me, man. Look at all my losses, man. I keep training hard. Don't lose that faith. So, I know someday it's gonna give. And hey, I'm happy it is happening for me.
Yeah. I was also gonna ask about that, like, as we see like the rise of like YouTube boxing being a thing, like, do you think that's disrespectful to a fighter like yourself that puts in that work where no one gives you like the credit for you putting in all that sacrifice in? Because it seems like people get certified for doing that more than for what you do. You're taking risks to put your life at risk and put yourself in greater sacrifice for like the entertainment.
No, so hey, some people say that it's good for boxing because this and that, and some people say it's boxing because this and that. I agree with both of them, to be honest, because it is disrespectful for me that I've been fighting for all my life, and I'm gonna go into a hard fight, big fight for I don't know, let's say for change,
Yeah.
and these people just get out of a YouTube channel, just be on fighters with 3 fights, they're already making 3 million. But that's the part that's disrespectful for me. But in the other part, they're bringing in boxers too in those big events, and they're getting unknowns or fighters that deserve to be known. Like I said, like fighter like me, like in Puerto Rico, it's like a celebrity fight right now. So with Ray Charlie and Guy the producer, they're like some like influencers, So because of that, people are going to see that, and they're gonna see the rest of the fights, and I'm included. So yeah, like I said, it's disrespect. They're gonna win a lot of money, a lot of fame, but I'm in it too, so I'm gonna get known too. So like I said, at some point, all this is still paying off in a way or another. So it's good for the sport too. You got it depends on the way you look at it or how you're doing it. So look
Yeah.
at Jake Paul. When did Amanda Serrano has won $1 million? Cause of Jake Paul, she now she's making money. So we gotta be grateful for that too. If not, she would still may have been a world title fight for 10,000, and that's unfair.
Yeah, yeah. I like the reason why that I asked that is because like part of it in my mind makes me think it's mediocre. Because for one, if you see like let's just say like Kim Kardashian, like if she comes out of her way wanting to get into a YouTube boxing event and she fights some woman that has some experience, but they end up hurting each other bad, and you come out of your way like fighting like somebody like I don't know, like King Kenny off of YouTube, and you blow him out. Like people may think it's funny, but at the end of the day, like this is not something that you play. You don't play boxing, but on top of that, like when you look at the mockery that they're doing, but on top of what the promotional gain, like it's good for you to get the exposure and you're getting fans, but on top of that, like if boxing were to pay like all the other major, big sports, um do you think like you would focus more on legacy like on rather than money to expand your career as a fighter, and more people would be focused on that rather than YouTube boxing or any other celebrity fighting?
Yeah, man. So obviously, because where I'm coming from, my background, my history with my family and boxing, yes, I am going for legacy. But I'm sorry, man. Legacy is not paying the bills, man, right now. So if I gotta go, I gotta go with money in this situation. But yeah, yeah, like, but I understand your point. In boxing, you can't play with boxing. There's not, those gloves, and not just that. If you don't have the proper training, man, you could really get hurt. Because even with proper training, you still get hurt. You know.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you look at it too, but in the circumstance where you're in too, because like yeah, so like if you're trying to do it for the money, you may get hurt. So what's money? If you don't have happiness, you don't have help. So money's not gonna fix you a broken arm or broken eye or whatever.
Yeah, because the reason why that I bring that up is like, let's just say, if boxing was more marketized and decentralized to the level where if I like you as my fighter and I want to put my money on you, and we as a community of fans have a localized, marketized, like a method to give fighters, the money that they deserve, like, wouldn't that benefit you more to take you know, more support from the fans that care about you versus relying off of a promoter or uh, or basically whatever type of financial struggles that you go through now. Like I'm saying, like if there was a way where fans like us where we could come together and create like a grassroots community to create a decentralized market for fighters to give them all the money that they need to sustain like any other regular professional athlete, do you think that would benefit you and the rest of what the boxing world to help it grow to that level?
Yeah, I agree, but like the way you support us, is, to be honest, is going to the fights, man. I'm going to the pay-per-views and supporting us, man. Like you said, but everybody has their bills, everybody has their situation, but that's like the promoter's job to do those things, get sponsorships, things like that, because yo, right now, like you can see us making money, but it goes a lot into we invest a lot. Our uniforms, our meal preps, we have to pay our trainers. There's a lot of things that people do not see. Oh, they made 1,000 something, but you got to give percentage, not just a bill. No, it's a percentage of your check to your trainers to people, and that's what helps you grow into it. But yeah, sometimes everything is a business, man. If they offer me a fight and they say that there's, I don't know, for example, $10,000. I don't want that money. I want a little bit more. Or okay, I find it unreasonable for that fight because you got to look at the events too. You got to look at who's the promoter, where it is, how long is the fight. Like those type of things. Because I'm not gonna make uh $10 million fighting at a high school basketball court. You know, like who's gonna go there? Like what, 300 to 500 people?
Yeah,
You gotta be real. I gotta be at a big stadium. There's a lot of things that go behind it too. So, but
yeah,
yeah, like the way we get support, man, is fans supporting us, going to the fights, man. You know, supporting our events. You know, and obviously we do these things for you guys. You know, for you guys to enjoy it, for we could be with you guys on pictures and everything. You know.
yeah. Because I was just wanted to ask that because I was talking with other people like Tim Witherspoon Jr. He's the son of Tim Witherspoon Sr. And I was also listening to people like Clarissa Shields, where she was bringing up that same notion to say like, if you want to support your fighter, then give them what the money for their for their fights or like like I just wanted to get your point of view as far as like if there's any like solutions or tools that fans could like naturally come together with where if we want to chip in like a GoFundMe for you to say, hey, let's give Ryan like $1 million. Like I'm just making something up, but
Yeah.
let's just say, if I'm like a rich person and I really do support you as a person and I really want to like, support your career, like people should come out of their way to create like a grassroots financial stash for those athletes. So therefore the sport can continue growing. So therefore you don't have to come back to it.
The only way I will support that if the fighter is somebody that works hard, that's that doesn't have not have the people behind it to do it, like on his own, like a manager, things like that, then yes, I will support that. Let's say there's a hometown fighter, but he's literally, he's poor, he doesn't have no, like he doesn't have to eat because boxing is a poor man's sport. Because I'm not gonna, I don't want to get punched in the face, but there's the things that life put me in to make money, and thank God I'm good at it. So I'm making money off of it. I'm safe for it. So yeah, if there's a fighter that really needs it, that he has a, like he's not living in good conditions, he doesn't have food. Of course, I'm gonna support that. You know what? Dude, who is it? If I got to chip into it, I will to do it too. Because I come from that. You know, like I've been hungry. I've been at the point where I got out of the gym. I don't know what we're gonna eat. I had to get like $2 just to get a Chef Boyardee, something like that. So yeah, of course I'm gonna support that. But if you're a world champion or something like that, bro, you're rich. You got everything, or you're a top prospect, or you have a company that's moving you around and that's supporting you. You don't really need that because they're doing it for you. But fighters, hometown fighters, people do not understand that. I was at that point, like I said. So yeah, sometimes our community fighters, we do need something like that. Hey, here you go, and have somebody to invest in for, because sometimes we go a little bit crazy. Like because we're poor, we get that type of money and we don't know what to do, and we're gonna want to buy everything we never had. So yeah, like have somebody control it and manage it for you. Hey, here you go, $100 a week for you can get for food. And you can manage that. Because you don't have nothing. This is the only type of money you have, so you can manage it right. Or you don't have clothes. Here you go. Fine. Now everything is money too. Sometimes we need clothes. Sometimes we need food. Sometimes we need certain a pair of gloves. Yes, it's like not everything is money, but yeah, every type of support for boxers that do need it. Yeah, I'm always gonna support that. Yes, I do agree with you with that.
Yeah, because the reason why I bring that up is like there was a point in time in the United States, and I believe it happened out in England and France, and there was these things called friendly societies or mutual aid societal firms where people actually like created decentralized like funding services to help out people that were in need. And that like that was like a really big thing that a lot of state government authorities didn't like because they knew that if that were to be bigger, that would actually create a pure decentralized marketized base to break away from that chain. So if I supported like let's just say black people and we as black people wanted to come together to decentralize that notion to be supportive to one another instead of going back to the state that divides us, then that would actually make us a lot stronger as a people. And if we were that successful to create more Black Wall Street firms to be more financially independent through our trust and through our cooperative means, then I don't see why that can't work for a person like you. If I like you as my brother or as my sister or anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but not just that, man. So being in a rough spot in a poor situation and you trying to make the best out of it on a sport, why you're not gonna support that? I could be out selling drugs, robbing or whatever, being poor and what trying to get out of it. I'm trying to do a sport, something that's a positive thing. Why you're not gonna support it? So I think you should support. That's something good. That's something positive. That's something. He could be probably. I'm a fighter, and somebody did that for me. Obviously, I'm gonna talk about it in the future. Be a motivational speaker. You know, and that's gonna inspire somebody else to do it, and it keeps the positive role going. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I just figured I'd bring that idea to you because like I think like, like if we can create something, that's big like that, that could easily change up the game, forever. But
Bro, even just one pair of boxing gloves could change any kid's life, man. Trust me,
yeah.
you don't have to go crazy, but yeah, with anything you can, one pair of boxing gloves that could change any kid's life, man. Trust me, when you have nothing, you receive it. Even those ratty gloves, bro, they're mine. You're gonna treat them with pride. It doesn't even the most small thing, man. Just yeah, anybody that's seen this, bro, support your local kid, man. They're trying to fight. And fight for good. To grow. Those are the people that represent you. In the future, hey, I give those kids a pair of gloves, and look where he's at. I'm glad that I'm part of it. That gives you joy. That gives you, motivation to do anything. Keep doing good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the last question that I wanted to follow up with is, what influence do you want to bring out to the people that support you, before it's all said and done for boxing?
Man, literally everything I was just saying, man. Like I come from nothing, man. I come from like in my school, they said I was gonna be a nobody. That I remember with this one teacher, I had history teacher in 10th grade. Um, you're a kid, you're gonna be starting making jokes in school and everything. And me and my friends, he said that we were gonna be low lives and everything. We're gonna be criminals. And I told him you're gonna see him in TV one day. And you know what he replied to me, bro? Yeah, I know. They're gonna see Ryan Pino that he's in jail, this and that. And I was like, what? And the good thing about it is that I saw him a couple years later, and he told me, "Hey Ryan, how you doing? Yeah, I'm a professional fighter now." And he was so shocked, man. So yeah, those are the people that I wanna shut up, and I wanna inspire them to not do those things, man. Give me hope, man. So I wanna give back to my community, man. I wanna give back to anybody that needs a ear, like yo, hey, keep focusing, man. You could do it. Just have faith in God and work hard, man. Just be humble, and deep down in your heart, that's what really counts. You could act whatever, but and deep down in your heart, you have the right mind, have the right heart, and do the right thing, man. So yes, right now I'm working on myself to be a better person every day. I'm not perfect. I'm never gonna be perfect, but I'm trying to be the best I can. So I'm working hard in the gym. I'm really focused in this because I know this has to give. I'm tired of partying, man. I already party. I don't even want to go out. I'm tired of all that thing. So I'm really focused on boxing. And to be honest, I feel peace. I see happiness and things that really matter. Family, man, my dogs, man, my people. And you know what? I go to the gym, man. They my family because I see these people every day, man. And they're happy to see me. So I'm just focused on doing the right thing and getting a better life for myself, man. Because that party life, that show life for who? For that's for you, man. But that's not benefiting me in anything. So I'm just working hard to give back to the community in any type of way I can, man. And anywhere God could put me to bless anybody, I will do it.
Alrighty. I appreciate you for bringing those strong words. Yeah, man, like I had like a lot of fun. Hopefully me and you could do this again. And do you have any final words to say to Jason Velez, before you knock him out?
Jason, man, I know you're ugly, like an ugly person, an ugly fighter, man. But I'm gonna make you're gonna be uglier when I be hitting you and beating you up. And I hope he goes back after. I know he's gonna go with pain, but I hope he goes back with health and nice, to his family. But I'm gonna be victorious that night.
Alrighty, man. Yeah, man. I can't wait. Is there like a promotional platform that people could watch a fight or?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can go into Nikon TV. If you go look for it in the App Store and the Play Store,
All
that's
right.
they're one of my sponsors. They're my people. So they're gonna be giving the live fights on pay per view. If I'm not mistaken, it's like $10-15. If I'm not mistaken, So there's a lot, bro. Trust me. This is one of the best cards in Puerto Rican boxing in a long time. You're gonna see undefeated fights. Undefeated versus undefeated. You're gonna see a woman card. Obviously, one of the biggest fights is mine. But yeah, like it's a real pleasure, man, to be here with you, man. I like what you're doing. I like your concept. I like what you're doing with the sport of boxing, man. And thank you for the love, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Like you support boxing, man, and you're giving people what they need. Showing the boxers who they are in these great interviews, man. I love your questions, man. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like I'm happy to, chop it up and hopefully, I can see you, one day, um, fight. So
Nah, man, I'm telling you, Yankee Stadium in New York. You said it, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm down here in Florida, but like
All
I
right.
can go out to Tampa or wherever, but I'll go back up to New York for sure.
All right, man. Anything you need me, man, when another interview, man, is always gonna be grateful, man. Thank you for everything, bro.
Yeah, hopefully that you get the belts, so therefore, we could talk about championship status.
You see. Just give me like a year or two.
Yeah, man. Like I'll definitely keep supporting, man. So, all right,
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
all right. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, all right, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Ryan Pino and shout out to Puerto Rico. And yeah, like I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, on to the next one. And y'all know what it is. Shout out to the TWT. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And yeah, here's the outro. I'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys, and goodbye.